Up here, Astro Boy.
If you think you can take our top prize spot, you're wrong.
Dead wrong.
Help me get out of here.
I'll help you. With my foot. Wow! Yeah! How you like that, cheetah? Oh, to infinity and my foot! Boom! In the vacuum of space, they cannot hear you scream! Oh.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel over here at Broke Boy Media, and today we are going to be reviewing Toy Story 4. My name is Christian and I have Devin with me here as always. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good myself, man. It's been so hot here this weekend. Last night there was like this terrible tornado warning and thunderstorm warning in our area, and I woke up the next day and a bunch of branches that just like fallen off trees and whatnot, and I felt like a mini hurricane came through, to be completely honest. And I was like,
Boy.
oh wow. Yeah, there was this one Airbnb like a few houses down from me that this huge tree just like fell on top of this car. I felt super bad, but other than that, I mean, today it's Pride Day down in Nashville. Well, their Pride Parade is going on right now, I think. Yeah, it still should be going. But other than that, man, it's been pretty good. Just chilling, you know. It's the weekend, so got to see 2 Toy-tastic movies this week.
Yeah, we saw 2 movies that are both very similar, but also very not similar. It's kind of weird.
I was like, oh, Andy, and this Andy's Toys. I was like, I feel like they did this on purpose. So
yeah, they definitely named him Andy in Child's Play on purpose.
It's like, what's your name? Han Solo. Chucky. What? But yeah, as we said earlier, we will be reviewing Toy Story 4 for this review. And just to let you guys know, you can also listen to us on Spotify and iTunes. Devin, we made it. We're on there. It's all up there.
It's the big time.
The big time. Yeah, for all you audio listeners, you can listen to us on those 2 respective platforms, Spotify and iTunes. And we are also on YouTube and Podbean for you Podbeaners out there. It came out wrong, but
oh god,
you Podbean listeners, there we go. Yeah, you knew what I meant. So anyway, let's read the synopsis here really quick and get on with the non-spoiler section, and then we'll head over to the spoiler section and we'll let you guys know when that is. So the synopsis for Toy Story 4, which I kind of viewed myself as a perfect epilogue to the Toy Story trilogy, is when a new toy called Forky joins Woody and the gang. A road trip alongside all the new friends reveals how big the world can be for a toy. Directed by Josh Cooley. And we all know the actors, you know, coming in from the previous Toy Story, but we have some new faces. We got Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom.
Yeah, the Keanu Sans is strong.
And we also have Key and Peele playing as the 2 plush toys, the rabbit and the
Ducky and Bunny.
Ducky and Bunny. Ducky. They're making another Toy Story. What? Yeah, so those are just a few to name a few from the new. Oh, and also Christina Hendricks as Gabby. So oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm just like zoning out today. What were your initial thoughts about Toy Story 4 when they first announced it, Devin?
I was kind of on the same page as a lot of other people. I was just like, I'm a little worried about this. Toy Story 3 had a perfect ending, and it's just people were kind of worried because it's a beloved franchise, and if it's not like perfect like the other ones, it could have been a little annoying to end it like that. Definitely ended up being happy with the result here, despite the worries.
Yeah, I knew there was a lot of worries going into this movie. And I was kind of confused as to why that is. I don't know why, but I mean, I was on board for it. I cannot talk today. I was on board for it since day one. I didn't really know much about the story. I didn't really want to dig too deep and accidentally run into any spoilers. But overall, like with the only thing that kind of concerned me was Forky. I wasn't sure how much he was going to grow on me, but I ended up liking him a lot. At first, I was like, how are they going to play off of this? I was more curious than anything. Wasn't really worried. But I was pretty curious about the type of story they were going to tell, and then I never really had any doubts, but still curious,
Yeah, I understand the doubts people had just because I think there's a lot of downside if the story and movie aren't as good as the other ones. Just because, like I said, 3 seemed like the perfect ending at the time.
Yeah, because everyone was wondering, they're like, oh, like, I mean, Disney's made some stinkers in the years, like we all know that, but like Toy Story has just, has never had a bad review. Neither is this one. It's been sitting at, well, it was at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now it's sitting at a 98, I believe, which is still mind-boggling. And I don't think they made this for nostalgic cash grab sake, but I feel like there was a story to tell and they told it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But did you just want to get into spoilers? I know I said we're gonna do a non-spoiler section, but
one thing I'll say that's non-spoilery is that all the new characters they added really helped the story and were really well placed, I think, and really helped grow the story and the plot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, majority of Andy's like old toys kind of took a back seat this time around, which was kind of nice. I wish we would have seen a little bit more interaction, but this main story was overall it was a story between or about the it was, to me at least, it was about the celebration between the friendship of Woody and Buzz. Overall, that's probably like the best way that I can explain it to someone without going into like super detail, but it mainly focuses on Woody, Buzz, I guess Gabby, Forky, and Bo Peep. So, but yeah, let's just head into spoilers, I guess, and we'll from here on out, this is spoiler section, so you have been warned. All right, we're into the spoiler section. So
Duke Kaboom!
Duke Kaboom! Who's the Canuck with all the luck? I am. I really liked his character, Keanu's character.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it really was. Like
I loved his, but I think Key and Peele's were just like even better somehow.
Even better. Yeah.
Hilarious the whole time.
Well, yeah, I mean, they play off each other so well that it's like, and like literally both of their characters were like attached to the hip. I mean, to the paw / feather, wing, paw and wing, I guess you could say, Ducky and Bunny, sure. But I really did like how Duke Kaboom had his his backstory was like the best.
Yeah, what was his kid's name?
It was like
something French.
Something Jacques. I can't really remember, but I love it how he was actually a Canadian stunt. He was kind of like Evel Knievel, but you know, like the Canadian version of that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. But yeah, I really liked how to me, really quick with Gabby, I thought she was honestly like the perfect like quote unquote villain in a way. It made you feel really sympathetic towards her because you know, she just wanted to be played with in general, you know, to have an owner, if you will. But I felt very sympathetic towards her. She had a simple but moving character arc, in my opinion. But I ended up liking her. At first, I was like, yeah, I really don't like her all that well. But I'm like, well, maybe they don't want me to like her for a certain reason. And then, I mean, it was kind of predictable towards the end when, you know, she finally gets Woody's voice box. And that one, what was her name? Oh my God, Janet? Was it? Or I forgot. She came with like a book in general. And there was like a girl's name within the book who shared the same name as someone else from the
Harmony,
I think it was. Yeah. Who her grandmother owned the store. And she, you know, finally took notice to Gabby after she like pulled her string. And her grandma was like, you can take it if you want. And she's like, nah. Just throws it in the crate. I was like, oh, rejected. And then I felt so bad at the same time. I was like, oh, wait, no, she's going to get rejected. I'm like, well, maybe she'll become one of Bonnie's new toys. I'm like, oh, Bonnie's got enough toys. This is like a lot of the things I was thinking in my head while watching the movie. I'm like, how many toys does one kid need?
Yeah, it's a lot of toys.
That is a lot of toys. I was like, there's no way they all end up being her toys. I'm
And
like,
a very wide variety too. Usually you have like a theme going. This is just all over the place.
well, yeah, I mean, half of them or a majority of them, I would say, you know, coming from Andy, he was kind of all over the place with, you know, a cowboy and a space ranger. It was like totally two total polar opposites of each other. But yeah, I felt bad for Gabby, and then I felt a little. I was like, you go, Gabby, when she finds the girl towards the end who was lost from her parents, and she's like, "Are you lost too?" I was like, "Oh, well, that's nice." And she finally finds a police officer, and well, thank God she finally actually talked to someone.
Yeah, I didn't have the same type of like the swing on Gabby that you did. I think she was still kind of like bad. She did almost rip Woody's voice box out of him without his consent. So
Consent,
great.
consent. Yeah, that is true. That
And she
was
also
creepy.
and she just got away with it and without any repercussions. It
Yeah,
wasn't great.
that is very true. Like, not gonna lie, I did feel like a little bit of like an Annabelle like vibe there for a second.
Oh yeah, definitely those dummy things.
Yeah.
A million of them running around like
And they just
weirdly running around.
it's like they were just running around skipping leg day, but like
Yeah.
had no like independence whatsoever. I was like, this place is creepy as heck, man. I just couldn't do it.
There were a couple of jump scares for a kids movie, kind of.
Yeah. I'm not, yeah, especially when oh my gosh. I think they're going back towards the carousel. I think it was like Woody, Bo Peep, and Ducky and Bunny and Duke Kaboom, and there's like the baby carriage with one of with one of Gabby's her henchman or whatever inside of it, and the lady thought there was like an actual baby in there. She flips it over and freaks the heck out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I kind of felt
that face.
I felt that way like when I watched, I think it was like Twilight, like I think it was like the third movie, part like 1 or 2, I can't remember. It was on TV one day, and the baby that not Kristen Dunst, Kristen Stewart has, it's completely computer generated. It looks so freaky. It's like really, really unnatural, and I felt that way when I saw that doll inside of the baby carriage. I was like, yeah. Like, thank God they don't make dolls like that anymore. They're just so weird. But with like
very creative henchmen though.
Yeah, very, very creative henchmen. You know, they're kind of just mindless zombies, but you know, you kind of have to give Gabby something. I don't know. Who were like your favorite additions to the group? Was it Duke Kaboom, Forky, Key and Peele's characters, Ducky, Bunny?
It was Ducky and Bunny. Everything they said was just like so funny.
Plush
I love I love all the scenarios that go over his plans and then they show him.
They kept doing the same thing over and over. The one that kept drawing out when like she gets home, brushes her teeth and everything. And the Buzz is like,
so
"What's?"
funny.
He's like, "That's not gonna work." He's like, "Wait for it, you're ruining it." And then they like tower over her. And then it just cuts in the back of her house, and you hear her scream.
Winner, chicken dinner.
It was so great. Like, I would have been super curious if like they actually did that just to see what would happen, because no one still knows, you know, like these toys, you know, come to life when no one's around. And that would have been really interesting to see if she really like would have actually reacted, instead of just having like a scenario where they're like, hey, you know what? We haven't really had a scenario to where, you know, we have two like inanimate objects like actually interacting with like one of the humans in the world. But yeah, that was great. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, Siri.
Don't be creepy, Siri.
Seriously, man, especially after seeing Chucky, I'm like,
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, honestly, overall, I think I enjoyed this more. I think I enjoyed this as much as Toy Story 3, just because, like I said earlier, I feel like it was a perfect epilogue to the series, and you know, it kind of dealt with Woody not letting go, and they kind of cut back to the very beginning of the movie where, you know, Bo Peep gets sold away, and Andy's sister, I forgot her name, Molly, was it? I think. I don't know. But I really like that that sequence where like, oh, let's give you a little bit of backstory as to what happened to Bo Peep and where she is now. And I kind of liked her as like a rogue toy, going out on her own, and like the entire world is like her playground.
She was kind of like Uma Thurman and the chick from Mad Max. You remember?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen Mad Max.
She was kind of like that, just like a rogue badass, just going around doing whatever she
wants. And that
wants.
small little tiny cop she had with her, I forgot her name. She's like reporting for duty. She was like coming down. She like comes down within her own little like house and like pops onto her shoulder. I thought that was so funny.
I love that they're driving around in a skunk RC car thingy.
It's like, why is it a skunk? All the grown-ups and all the adults just start freaking out. He's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That works.
Yeah, that works. Well, yeah, it really was. For me, especially, it was a pleasant reminder of how important toys are to kids growing up, even if they are just like temporary distractions. Imagination is important. And you really kind of felt that when Bonnie made Forky overall, and how it was her first day of kindergarten or preschool, kindergarten, I think it was. And
kindergarten.
Yeah, she wasn't making any friends, and I was like, all right, at least go over. Well, she tried to make friends, but everyone was just being a dick to her. But
I think that was one of the most emotional parts of the movie to me.
Yeah,
she was just like crying on her own table alone. It was like, oh.
Yeah, I definitely felt the feels there for a second. I really did like how, as annoying as Woody can be, as we all know, he's very uptight and very clenched with a lot of things. I was watching an interview that oh my gosh, Tom Hanks was talking about, Woody, how he's always so uptight and wound up, and he's, everything has to be a certain way in order for it to be perfect. And I really did like the loyalty that he showed Bonnie, even though, he still has loyalty towards Andy, who, is off to college, and they don't know what that is really unless they watch TV.
He reminds me a lot of Captain America.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's always just trying to do the right thing. He
had a very similar ending to Captain America's Endgame ending too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They both go off into the sunset and do their thing, separate from what their life used to be.
I really do agree that Woody is just like Captain America. He's always trying to do the right thing. He doesn't trade lives. He's always, leave no toys behind and whatnot. And honestly, I would say, well, I don't know if I would say Buzz is like Iron Man in a way.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the comparison there, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
In this movie, at least, Buzz was a giant dumbass for the most part.
He really was, but like his inner voice was like the best part.
That was very funny. That was really clever how they did that. It just kept working over and over again.
He's like, what? He's like, yeah, like I have this voice inside my head. He's like, what is this voice? And he's like, my conscience. But he's like, whoa. Buzz is just like all over the place in this movie. But yeah, I really did enjoy him in this movie. And I mean, I kind of wish Jesse would have had a little bit more to do, but the rest of the gang in general, even though they, like I said, they do take a back seat, they're very funny when they are on screen. When they're what is it, the plush unicorns trying to get the dad to go to jail.
I think that might have been the funniest part. what was the unicorn's name? I don't even know.
I can't remember the unicorn's name. I would definitely have to go back and watch this movie again.
That was so funny though.
Because like
that dad's definitely getting arrested.
They just like literally completely dismantle the RV. Jesse puts like a nail inside of one of the tires, and she's like, they're not going anywhere for a while, if you get my point. I was like, that's a knee slapper. But honestly, like overall, I would say that I think it was a perfect ending. I don't think this property should be touched on for a very, very long time, unless they wanted to do like a Disney Plus type of streaming show series with, now that Woody has now become a rogue toy, I guess that's just what we're calling them in general, or an ownless toy with Bo Peep and Ducky and Bunny and Duke Boom and the rest of them. I kind of like it how they stayed with the circus to help other other toys essentially get adopted. It was like their own adoption. Even though every single kid kept missing the targets on that one game, and they're like, "Oh, congratulations, you win this, you win this," and then the guy who's like running the whole thing, he's literally just sitting there listening to his music because like he doesn't have to do anything really, and like a lot of those games are kind of like hard and somewhat rigged, so they're like, oh, they're not gonna get win any of these toys, and then like towards the end, he looks up at the board and he's like, "Whoa." I thought that was pretty cool, but
yeah, I like how they showed kind of their little game plan at the end there, their adventures going forward.
Yeah, man, I really like. I'm really glad they told the story because it really did tug at the heartstrings there, for a little bit, and especially just with when we saw Andy, within the first 3 Toy Stories, and how he grows up and everything like that, but it's different with a girl, and like from a girl's perspective when it comes to making friends and the types of games that she plays, and Woody wasn't really getting played with all that much anymore, and he felt, I guess, left out in a way, or he needed to be in control the entire time. And I kind of like how Bo Peep, she how he looks for Bo Peep inside of the antique store because he sees like the carousel type lampshade that she was on, and he was just very, it was sad in a way because like Woody doesn't really know how to let go of the past, and I think he finally did as soon as he decided not to return to Bonnie. But I like how he explained to Forky that how important Bonnie is to how important he is to her, with just making him, because she didn't have a friend in class, so she made her own. And then later on, after the credits, she made another.
Yeah.
Knifey. I don't know what her name. She's like, "Trash? No, you're not trash. You're a toy." He's like, "How was I made?" He's like, "I don't know." He was like so starstruck. I was like, "Oh my god." I guess they're perfect for each other.
Yeah, nice little romance at the end there.
And I'm glad they did it like in like towards like a little like post credit scene, not like, oh, now we're gonna have Forky make another one where she makes another companion for Forky and blah 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 blah. But yeah, sorry to get back to my point. Yeah, I really did like the fact that how Woody explained how important Forky is to Bonnie, and he was so addicted to trash the entire time. The entire
it's warm and cozy.
And cozy. He was like, "It's warm." He was like, "Yeah, I guess." But like when they couldn't find Forky, and then Buzz puts a spoon in Bonnie's hand while she's sleeping.
Safer than a fork.
Safer than a fork, and pretty much the same thing. I thought that was so funny. But yeah, it was, and like I kind of felt bad for Woody though, because like Bonnie didn't really seem to like notice him all that much. Like
yeah, that's what made the ending work out well, because he realized he's not needed particularly with Bonnie.
True. Yeah, they said that how many weeks has it been since he's been played with, and he kind of just felt useless. I wouldn't say unappreciated, but kind of just needing a little bit more, like a purpose within his toy life, if toys' lives ever end, unless you're a plush toy. There's so much fluff.
That's what we look like on the inside.
Dude, they killed it, especially like after they went through all of, like the renditions of like the plush rush, and then they're like, "How are we gonna get this key?" And then she just sits it down,
up.
literally just sits it down on their shelf. Yeah, and they were like, "How hard was it?" He was like, "It was hard, very hard." But yeah, man, I just enjoyed it. I always enjoyed Toy Story. It was a big part of my life growing up, and like I said, it's perfect. I thought it was a perfect epilogue.
It's so rare for a movie series to all be this good. Like,
it really is.
they're all consistently good.
It's looking
and
like
there's
John
no
Wick is
drop
going to
off.
do the same thing
Yeah.
because it's very.
I remember I brought that up with John Wick and we couldn't think of anything, but Toy Story is definitely one of them.
Yeah, Toy Story is definitely one of them. I really can't think of any. If there's anyone listening, to this recording, let us know any like trilogies or just franchises that you feel that each movie has gotten better with every single installment. So far, we've only thought of two, which is Toy Story and John Wick. I'm sure there's others out there where just having a blank moment right now. So
I'm not sure if it's gotten better with every installment. I think I might like Toy Story 3 better just because the emotional parts were a little more throughout, and the plot definitely led to more tears for me in Toy Story 3.
yeah, because they kind of put him in different situations where I really enjoyed Toy Story 2. That was probably my favorite one. I like the original, don't get me wrong, but I really, and Toy Story 2 is definitely my favorite. But like I like how in Toy Story 3 they're like, oh, what happens, like, there's toys inside kids' bedrooms, but what about the toys that are inside of like a daycare, or and then the ones that kind of get thrown away, and it shows how these toys can kind of easily get corrupted, but they're all looking for the same thing. It's kind of like what Gabby was saying when she was like, when she was talking to Woody and she's like, can we both agree on something? And she said, can we both agree that, always being there for your kid, no matter what, is like one of the most noblest things a toy can do. And that's literally Woody's character. He's a sheriff. He's never going to give up, never going to let you down or desert you.
I like how they got the song out of the way right at the beginning, or not out of the way, but played it at the beginning.
Yeah. See, I'm trying, because I guess they not bought the rights, but bought the rights to use it within the movie itself. Because I can't remember who sings that song. I used to know, but I'm drawing a blank right now. If anyone else knows out there, leave a comment, wherever you're listening this on, or YouTube and whatnot, and let us know, because I can't figure it out for the life of me whatsoever. But I did enjoy Duke Boom's final, his gracious jump.
Eyes closed.
He was like, I'm ready to go. We're going to do this right now. And we were like, wait, what? Eyes closed. And like, it was kind of like an E.T. moment when he's like crossing over the moon. I was like, oh my gosh. They literally thought of everything in this movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah, we also got to talk about how good the movie looked. Like,
yeah, it looked fantastic, dude. Like,
whenever there was like set pieces or like images of the city, it looked like a real city and like real cars and stuff. I was like, oh my god, it's like not even a cartoon at this point. It looks so good.
Yeah, like especially during the beginning when they're trying to get RC out of the rain gutter. Like that rain just looked so. I was like, what am I watching right now? And of course, we went to go see it in Dolby, in the Dolby Cinema. I'm never going back to another IMAX viewing ever, unless the movie is completely shot in IMAX, like Avengers Endgame. I'll go, but other than that, I'm staying away from IMAX. It's just the seats. They hurt my butt, man. They're not comfortable. They're not as comfortable as Dolby seats, and that's where the magic shines. And 4K or just Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, the sound quality is just so much better. But was there anything else you wanted to cover before we close out here?
What'd you think of the ending? The Woody and Buzz little sad goodbye.
I teared up, man, because it was also sudden. Like they didn't draw it out or anything like that, which I really liked. They're like, oh, is Buddy gonna leave? Is Woody gonna stay? I keep on combining Buddy, Woody, or actually no. I'm thinking, wow, so there's Buzz and there's Woody. For whatever reason, I'm combining them together as Buddy. But also, Buddy is a part of Child's Play. And that's supposed to be our next review. And I'm like, thinking of two different movies at the same time. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I apologize for shipping Woody and Buzz together as Buddy. But but yeah, to answer your question, I teared up a bit because, like I said, they didn't draw it out. It wasn't like, oh, would he stay? Will he go? Like for a hot second it was, but when Buzz looks at him, he's like, she'll be okay. And I'm like, I feel like he's talking about Bonnie. He's not talking about Bo Peep. And then he's like, Bonnie will be okay. And he's like, oh, are you sure? Because it's part of Woody's character. He's just so he wants to make sure no matter, you know, what child he's with, that they're loved and cared for and that they're happy. And, you know, he doesn't like to see them down. Even though within Inside Out, with that movie in general, it kind of shows how it is important to have different emotions, because those emotions lead to happier moments. You know, you can be feeling sad at one moment, and then your entire mood and your entire day can turn around from, you know, a great, a kind act from someone else. And I feel like that kind of transcribes into this when it comes to Woody making sure that, you know, whoever he is with, their owners are always taken care of and never sad or felt alone, that they always have at least their toys to depend on. But yeah, it was very sad, man. I just, you know, because it's Buzz and Woody. There we go. I didn't say it. Yes. It's Buddy. But you know, it's Buzz and Woody. And yeah, I mean, even though Buzz was a little downplayed in this movie, he was still very, very funny. Like every single time he was on screen, I was like, oh boy, what's he gonna do now? But yeah, it was sad. I'm kind of glad they didn't make Bo Peep and Woody like kiss, because that would have been like a little weird. I'm like, they're toys, but you know, they had a very, very caring and meaningful hug towards the end. But I was feeling myself, man. Tears were starting to come out a little bit, and I was like, this is perfect. And like, I can't see them making another one, especially after this one. And you know, with Tom Hanks and oh my gosh, Tim Allen. Wow, I'm really blanking on names right now. You know, they even said towards, you know, while they were recording for this, how sad, and you know, it was a very emotional time for them, because they're essentially saying goodbye to these characters that they played, you know, for so long. And yeah, what about you?
I really liked the ending. I think the just the hug they had between each other, Buzz and Woody, that just portrayed so much emotion.
Yeah.
Like you're watching two toys hug each other, and it's like, whoa, like this shouldn't feel this emotional,
right?
But it was just like really perfectly ending.
Chucky had those humans feeling emotional.
Yeah, some kind of
different emotion, different review. But yeah, I just had to throw that in there. I thought it was funny, but yeah, man, it really was. Yeah, it's a great celebration of Woody and Buzz's friendship overall. But so, score time?
Yeah, I think score time.
Score time. All right, what would you give this out of 100?
I'm thinking about 89. Just like right up there, almost 90. I kind of wish there was more Buzz throughout the movie, and that he wasn't just dumb the entire movie, but
it was just so funny how he was like so fascinated by this voice inside of Woody's head, and he's like, do I have a voice? The entire time. But yeah, it was great. Let's see, my score. I would have to give this a 95, because there's always room for error. 95 out of 100. You know, there's always room for that. Mainly for me, I wish, you know, the additional gang would have helped out a little bit more, but it did. Yeah,
they were kind of just waiting around in the RV, not doing much.
Yeah,
they did help, like, make it malfunction a lot. The Triceratops becoming the GPS voice.
Turn left, make another left. It's like, are you sure? Yes, I said turn left. That was great. That was really great. I wish I would have seen Rex freak out a little bit more, because like in previous movies, he's like always just been one of those funny guys. And you know, I wish, and the reason why I give him 95 out of 100 also, I wish we would have saw a little bit more banter between Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. That would have been nice to see.
Yeah, they were really barely in it.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that to, you know, happen, but I guess it just didn't. But that's okay. It's nothing wrong.
But yeah, the new characters coming in definitely helped supplement that.
Yeah,
they were all so good.
Especially towards the end with Ducky and Bunny, when they grow to like the laser eyes and fire breath. Duke, what was it? Duke and Boom. He was like, "Do you really have laser eyes, Bunny?" He's like, "Yeah." It was just so random, dude. I was not expecting that at all. I'm like, what is happening right now? I was like, they're turning into freaking kaiju monsters. Oh man, great time. I'll definitely have to go back and see this again because I mean it's Toy Story and I enjoyed that much to where, you know, it's definitely worth the second viewing for me at least. But yeah, so if there's nothing else, just wanted to say thank you, Devin, for always coming on. And
I did have one more thing.
oh,
I think I saw an article somewhere saying that the director, his name is Josh Cooley, that he started off as a Pixar intern. I just thought that was really cool. Starts off as an intern, made his way up to directing a Toy Story movie. Like that's pretty epic journey there.
Started from the bottom and now he is here.
Yeah. Directed a great movie.
Apparently Disney was like hoping to get more out of like the box office opening. I forgot how much it made, like 14.5 like billion maybe. I can't really remember. I guess they were just projecting more numbers for this. I mean, it is Toy Story, you know, especially when there is a new Pixar movie that comes out, a new Disney Pixar movie that comes out, it normally does extremely well. But the weekend is not over yet. So it's only Saturday, and I just saw this Thursday, and you saw it yesterday. Yeah. So there's plenty of time, but there's also plenty of time for the Avengers to beat Avatar. They're coming back out to theaters next weekend. Very excited. It's only, you know, post credit and a few surprises and a tribute to Stan Lee, but I will gladly go see that movie again for a few more of those extra scenes and to get me more pumped up for Spider-Man Far From Home because
can't wait.
Yeah, even though, you know, Endgame is supposed to be like the end of Thanos, Phase 3 doesn't end until Spider-Man Far From Home. And honestly, if you really think about it, when you have Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, and Far From Home all meshed together very neatly. And I'll throw Thor Ragnarok in there as well, because that's very important as to, you know, what Thor and Hulk were doing during the times events of Civil War. But like those like 5-6 movies, they're very important, especially with Infinity War, Endgame, and then Far From Home happening like immediately after Endgame. It's a very crucial part to ending Phase 3. It's essentially the epilogue of Phase 3 in a way. So
there's gonna be a lot of twists and turns. So definitely gonna see that the Tuesday it comes out.
Yeah, coming out on a Tuesday, man. I thought that was very interesting. I don't know, but nonetheless, I will go see it for sure. I already have my ticket. I'm sure you do too. I'm pretty sure you do. But yeah, yeah. Thank you for coming on, Devin. And as always, for everyone listening at home, you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube as well. So follow us on any of those platforms because we just want to reach out to you guys. And I just figured, you know, instead of people spend more, I figure people will spend more time, you know, listening to podcasts versus, you know, going on YouTube and watching something. But we still have our YouTube up for those, for our lovely subscribers over there, our lovely 58 subscribers over there. A small channel, but a proud one. But yeah. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at BrokeBoyMedia. That's broke_boy, spelled BOI_media. That's like the best way to get in contact with us or just to interact with us overall. And we'll see you guys in the next one when we review Chucky. And I think Harlan will be joining us on that one. It's going to be a few days because I know he's been a busy man. But we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.